What up, Yerp? This is your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic Michael Jordan the Gaming, back with another commentary. And this video is going to be not much of a response to Ryan Moody, but it's also a response to the so-called sim community. Alright, we all know about the whole incident that happened with Ryan Moody and the sim standard. Basically, if you don't know, I'll explain it for you. Alright, Ryan Moody has been missing from the sim standard for a while. I know the reasons why. He's been having, life issues. His mom's having kidney failure and stuff like that, and he has to take care of a lot of things, and along with her. So he's been gone for a while from the sim standard. You'll see him. We saw him every now and then a few months ago. And one of his, a couple of his videos recently was about how he thinks that Madden 12 is the most complete Madden on next gen. Which I don't understand, because that game is horrible. I didn't buy it because a lot of glitches that I saw. I even posted. I posted one where I showed me running a QB sneak, and this was on a demo, but I think it was still on a retail copy. And basically, I would beat the whole line off of the snap, and I was already like 10 yards up before they even moved off the line, and it worked every time. So I didn't buy the game definitely because of that. I mean, it was just broken. The game was broken. It wasn't a big change from Madden 11 at all. Only the collision system was added. And that was the only thing I could say that was, different. But that wasn't enough for me, so I didn't buy it. I didn't buy Madden 11 or 12. But I'm a big fanboy though. I'm an EA fanboy. That's what everybody's been calling me recently. I'm just a huge fanboy. But the thing is, the Sim Standard made a video talking about the Madden 13 trailer and E3 coverage. And, Ryan Moody wasn't there, but everyone else was there, and they were all talking about what they were impressed with, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. People always forget that they said things that they didn't like about the game. And they were talking about, would it be a 12 a.m. buy or whatever, and Smitty was like, it looks good. I'm very impressed by it, but I think I would rather wait for a demo before I make that decision. But a lot of people forgot that part too, because people tend to forget things, and they seem to remember things that they want to remember. People forget stuff like that, but I don't. So, they made that video. They got a whole bunch of, angry comments. You guys are selling out, yada yada yada. They got videos from Big Play Killer and all these other people that troll, all these 2K fanboys who joined the channel thinking that the Sim Standard was only about, getting 2K back, when honestly the Sim Standard was created to get a fundamentally sound football game. And what we all see, the people that aren't fools and actually, aren't blind to the hatred because we've been screwed by EA for so long, we actually see that it's improvements, lots of improvements, not little pieces of improvements that we got when Ian Cummings was in the office. No, we're talking about Cam Weber and the people that he hired for gameplay. He doubled the gameplay development crew, and all the fixes we saw for the Madden gameplay. I mean, first of all, the first trailer we got was way before we were supposed to have gotten a trailer from Madden. We don't normally see a trailer that early, and it was part 1 and part 2 of gameplay fixes. But like people are saying, this isn't improvements. But now they're saying, well, you don't know yet until you play the game, but we shouldn't buy it anyway because we want competition. But I'm going to make a video about competition later on. I'm not going to sit there and talk about that on this video. But continue on. Ryan Moody came back after kind of undercutting Sim F-Ball's video about foot planning, because he said that, Sim F-Ball said that he sees foot planning in the game, but he wants to see more of it. Ryan Moody said, he doesn't think that it's in the game, yada, 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 and, it's whatever. So after that, he makes a video talking about, I don't see what, the rest of the guys are overhyping this game for, and other channels are overhyping this game for, because I see the same flaws, morphing, clipping, and all that stuff, which I don't understand how he sees clipping and morphing, because in the video when they explain how the physics engine worked, they clearly showed that body parts do not go inside each other. So how do you see clipping, Ryan Moody? I just want to know. I didn't see it at all watching the game. But, it's whatever. But, a lot of the EA trolls, EA hating guys all agree with him and all that stupid stuff. And the video got removed. And, after the Sim Standard removed that video, Ryan Moody said that he was leaving and everything, and everybody got all upset and butthurt, and then started going at the rest of the Sim Standard, making speculations on who they think took it down and calling people out their names and stuff like that. You know how the trolls usually do. They normally call you out your name if you don't agree with them, which is funny because most of these cats that do call you names are like the 38, the 41-year-olds, which is hilarious because they act like they're 15, but it's whatever. So they got all upset, and the Sim Standard, I guess they folded under the pressure and they let Ryan Moody post the video back and come back to the Sim Standard. I honestly wouldn't have let him do it. I wouldn't have let him back. That's just me. If I say something and I go by, I'm not going to turn back around, especially that soon. I'm not going to turn back around and go back on what I just said, but it's whatever. So they let him back with him. They let him post the video, and a lot of people are looking at it. And I just want to talk about that video, man, because he was basically saying this was an EA Sports practice, when honestly, it's not an EA Sports practice. A lot of top developers do this. A lot of top developers take something that they had in the game, take it out, and then they might rehash it when it comes back later. For instance, NBA 2K. That's a series that does this. I started off with NBA 2K7 on Next Gen, and I remember they had a mode called 24/7, where basically you took a creative player and you took them through the storyline of playing on the streets or whatever, and then after you played through the whole storyline, your character stats will go up from how you did in the storyline, and then he'll be in the NBA. He'll get picked up by an NBA team of your choosing, and you could play association mode in it. So that was something that was taken out from it. And from 2K8 all the way to 2K10, it wasn't much of a change. I think in 2K10 they added my player and crew games. I remember my playing crew games was like the hot thing where everybody was playing, and I even went and bought a copy real late because I really didn't see much of a difference between the game. I mean, it's honestly they didn't add much to the game from 2K8 to 2K10. So I didn't buy it. So I just went and bought it because my homeboys was playing crew game. I thought it sounded cool. So I went and bought it, and I was playing my player, and I just noticed a lot of flaws in the game before I played my player. Just playing regular single player, like, a lot of flaws, like, force fields, you can't do lob passes. I forgot to mention that 2K7 there was a lob pass button. It was B. You could lob the pass in front of your player or pass the ball in front of your player, under the legs or anything like that. And that feature was taken out after 2K7. But, a lot of people don't remember that, or they just don't want to remember that. But, only Madden, EA Sports does stuff like this, right? So, yeah, you got the crew game and everything, and 2K10, it was all gravy. That was nice and everything. So that's when 2K11 came out. Same features in there, but they just added a gimmick, which is playing as, Jordan and the 90s Bulls and all that stuff through the gameplay. And that was the only thing they added to 2K11. It wasn't much of a jump. Same problems and issues in the game were persistent. Persistent, consistent. So, really wasn't that much of an upgrade. I didn't buy 2K11. And then that's when 2K12 came out. Also, again, 2K12 had the gimmicks of playing as the legends this time. So now, not only could you play as Jordan and the 90s Bulls, but you could play as Larry Bird, and you could play as Magic Johnson with the Lakers. And you could play as all these other legends, too, with their 90s teams and everything like that. So that was a big gimmick that they put in the game. But guess what they removed, though? They removed crew game. What else did they remove? I have a something from Operation Sports where a guy said, like, the best thing in the world, man. He said 2K continues to focus on presentation and features so the back cover can look pretty and all that stuff. He said that the final verdict of the game is most fun playing against users, whatever. But he said online it's a cheese fest with altered settings, but the patch and bugs will be fixed, but it wasn't. Having the ball tipped back, these are the cons. Having the balls tipped back the court and retrieving it results in an 8-second violation. Your AI doesn't box out. The AI doesn't react to your defense. Up and under cheese by the computer, changing simulation settings, or allowing players to adjust sliders in my player. Trade logic. Psychic defensive steals, AI using guards with poor most, what? He wrote that kind of ugly. AI using guards with poor post move ratings to post up and score nearly 9 out of 10 times and everything like that. And he was basically just talking about how, players who had low ratings on a harder difficulty that were like bad 3-point shooters would just score like probably 75% of their 3-pointers and things like that. And it was just a lot of issues with the game on the hardest difficulty. Along with, them removing stuff out the game. I mean, crew game was taken out, and that was a big seller for the game. So why was crew game taken out? But, it's not a problem because I still see a lot of people that's taking up, that's talking about Madden taking stuff out the game. I see a lot of y'all have been playing 2K12. Why come that gets a pass? I don't know if I should make a part 2 to this video because it's pretty long. I mean, it's a lot more things I want to talk about, like, Grand Theft Auto. I mean, if you look at Grand Theft Auto from San Andreas, man, it was so many things in San Andreas that just made that game great. Car customization. You could team up with gang members, and you could fly jets. Other than helicopters, you could skydive. You could level up your gun system so you could carry 2 guns when you get better and you have better aim. You could level up your swimming so you swim better, hold your breath longer underwater. Things like that. I don't even think you can jump in the water on Grand Theft Auto 4. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to try it. I mean, it was just so many other things that you can do on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas that has been stripped from Grand Theft Auto 4. And I bet that we see it all come back in Grand Theft Auto 5. We didn't see any E3 coverage of it, but I bet it comes back in Grand Theft Auto 5. But if you say anything bad about Grand Theft Auto 4, like I did in the video, people will sit there left and right and say, man, that game wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it because of the story, yada, yada, yada. Not so much the gameplay, even though they took stuff out, but I still had fun with the game. But the thing is, Rockstar took a lot of stuff out the game that was in San Andreas. And mind you, San Andreas came out in 05, and I think Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in 08. So they had more than a year, like EA Sports only had a year. But they had more than a year to get the stuff right and get the stuff in the game, but it wasn't in there. It was absent. And I think they later on put it in DLC, like jets and stuff like that, but I wasn't going to pay for DLC for something that should have been in the game from the start. So I didn't buy that. I just let that sit. I mean, that's pointless. It should have been in the game from the start. Like, why put it in there late as DLC and charge me for it? Come on now. But these practices are cool when everybody else does it, but when EA Sports does it, it's a problem, right? They can't scrap anything out their game. And we're not even talking about 2K football. 2K5 football had a whole franchise mode, first person view gameplay where you could play in first person, stuff like that. But the whole franchise mode was removed in 2K8. First person was removed in 2K8. A lot of the flaws from 2K5 that was supposed to have been fixed were still in 2K8 with additional flaws. But people will fight you all day and tell you that game didn't have any flaws in it. Or they'll say, well, it had minuscule flaws, but it's not as much as Madden. I mean, it's still better than Madden ever is. I mean, I can give you that, from Madden 10 all the way to Madden 12, I would say, 2K was better than Madden. But I'm not going to sit there and let you say that something's not in the game, but it is in the game, and I'm not going to let you lie like that. Don't lie like that. But if you can point out and show comparisons of why, NCAA did something better than Madden, then I'm cool with that. I can't deny it. But I'm sorry for this being a long video, man. I just want to make these points. I even kind of I got a little jumbled up at the towards the middle because I was trying to hurry up and get this stuff out because I didn't want the video to be too long. But the thing is, don't try to make it seem like EA Sports is the only one that does these practices when all these other titles are known for doing the same thing. I already talked about how 2K Basketball took a lot of stuff out their game, and I only named a few because I don't have a pamphlet in my hand to name everything that was taken out because I didn't buy the other ones because they didn't seem different. So I can't really give you that big of an insight on it unless I go and pull up, something that I read, which I did pull up this one guy on Operation Sports who was just saying everything that was wrong and taking out the game and how the computer blatantly cheats you and stuff like that. I mean, but like I said, that game was considered alright. But anyway, man, this is your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, Michael Jordan the Gaming. Sorry for it being a 14-minute long video, but it had to be that long. But I'm out of here, man. Alright, one.